Hello out there to all my peeps. I hope you're doing well. Really sad that we can't be together for youth group, but I decided that I should take the opportunity to use this wonderful thing called technology to still be able to connect with you on this rainy Wednesday night. Just wanted to take a couple seconds and give you some words of encouragement, because I know right now times are kind of tough. You know, it's rough out there and some scary things are going on. So I thought, it'd be a great time to sit down and just give you a little bit of encouragement. Before I do that though, as you can tell, these days apart have not helped with my ability to speak. I'm gonna open these up and I'm gonna eat one. Okay, so first and foremost, okay, life's crazy right now. I understand. I've talked to a few of you and I know that things are kind of scary, but I just want to say that even though it is a little hectic in the world right now, that everything's going to be okay. It will be okay. How do I know that? Well, if you look in the Bible, it says 365 times, do not fear. God doesn't want us to be afraid, okay? We are human, so there are instances where we will be afraid. And I would be lying if I said that I haven't been afraid at all through this. There have been some things that have concerned me a lot in the last couple of weeks. You all know me. I can be a worrywart. It's a problem. I'm working on it. But God says, don't fear. Don't worry about it. Things are going to be okay. And I just wanted to share one of my favorite verses with you. And I actually bought this sign a few weeks ago. Half off at Hobby Lobby, by the way. Has my favorite verse on it. One of my favorite verses, I guess I should say. Joshua 1:9. Okay? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. That's one of the 365 times. Got it? Do not be almost started quoting a different verse. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. This is a different version. I'm just now noticing that. I'm terrible at this. But you know what? It's okay. You all deal with me like this every week. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. I read it. I'm doing good. Okay, so I know you're like, Shannon, we're not going anywhere right now. We're stuck at home. That's not what this means. I mean, yeah, it is, wherever you go. But think about it like this. No matter what you're facing in life right now, it's okay. God's going to be with you. Whether you're at home, whether you're at school or work, whether you're at a hospital somewhere, I don't know. I don't know who's watching this right now. Some of you may be with family. I don't know where you are. But no matter where you are, no matter who you are, God sees you. God hears your prayers. And He loves you so, so much. Sorry, I got distracted by the peeps. Yeah. It stuck to my finger. Okay, so when I was little, one of my favorite verses and one of my first verses that I ever learned was Psalm 56, 3-4. When I am afraid, I will trust in you. In God's word I praise, and in God I trust. If we as Christians say, I will trust in you, Lord, even in times of fear, that's powerful. Which is a segue into my next verse, actually. One verse that I keep see popping up all over the place, marshmallow, would be 2 Timothy 1:7. Got my Bible here so I don't mess it up. For God did not give us a spirit of timidity, but a spirit of power, of love, and of a sound mind. So first of all, I'm really proud of myself that I could actually pronounce timidity, because the other day I mispronounced it, but I remembered in my little head that it sounds like humidity. So we're doing good. Second of all, like I was saying, if we are putting our trust in God, even when we're afraid, that's powerful. It says right here that God gave us a spirit of power, so that even in these hard times, we can see Him working. Okay? The other two things that accompany power are love and of a sound mind. So in times like this, when we are struggling to understand, but we're seeking answers in His Word and through prayer, we can also do two things. First of all, we can love our neighbor and take care of our neighbor. So if you know somebody that is sick, or someone that may need groceries, someone who has family that they don't want to leave and they need something, and you go get it, or you send somebody something nice through social media, you're showing love in a time when a lot of people are afraid. And that's an awesome thing to do. In fact, I would suggest that every single one of you try to find a way to show love to a neighbor. And I don't just mean like a physical neighbor. I mean like a relative, a friend, a physical neighbor, maybe who lives next door. The other thing that is interesting about this verse is that God gave us a sound mind. When we're willing to focus, which is sometimes difficult for some of us, on what God is saying and the answers that He's given us, we're able to make good judgment calls because we are seeing the big picture. We're understanding that God's trying to show us something. We're not panicking or prepping for doomsday. I've seen so many posts on Facebook about the end times, and that's just making it scarier for other people. They're saying we need to be praying more. We need to be, we need to be in our Bibles more. And the thing is, yeah, that's true. We do. But we should have been doing that last year or last month, or we should always be praying and reading our Bibles as much as possible to prepare. And that leads me into what I want to say next. During this time of being at home, we need to be in our Bibles as much as possible, or praying as much as possible, getting together with the community of believers. If you can on social media, that's awesome, and I'm so thankful that we have technology that allows us to communicate with each other like this, because we need to be able to understand what God's trying to tell us right now. He may be saying, hey, come back to me, focus on me during this time. Let's build our relationship with one another. And I actually was speaking to one of the youth group kids the other day. They were asking me some really, really good questions, which I appreciate questions. Please ask me questions. I love questions about the Bible, about Jesus, about whatever. I love trying to answer your questions. It's so much fun. But what came to mind when I was thinking of this is 1 Peter 3:15, which reads, "But in your heart set apart Christ as Lord. Always be prepared to give an answer to everyone who asks you, to give the reason for the hope that you have." This is a really, really hard time right now. People are really struggling. People that are dealing with depression and anxiety, it's probably really hard right now because they're home. I know my anxiety levels have been up a lot. I'm not making spaghetti, I promise. But we have this hope as an anchor for the soul. We have something that the world needs right now. And if you are a Christian, shine your light. Let other people know that there is hope, that this COVID-19 will not be the end of us. Let people know that you believe in a God who loves us all. And if they ask questions, be prepared to give a reason why you have the hope that you have. And the best way to prepare for that is to be in our Bibles and to be praying more. So that's one thing that I would suggest you doing on this break that you do have. Okay? I wonder. Didn't do anything. Thought it would melt. That was gross.